Please give a warm welcome to Danny John Jules, Chris Barrie, and Robert Llewellyn. We worked on the show in the earlier part of the series, Mr. Bill Pearson.
Oh, brilliant. Is he really
Oh, look at that.
Get your microphone on, sir. Ordinary figures of incredible masculinity.
Except for the guy with the square head. Wow. Do you remember sitting there, that I can remember that day like yesterday, sitting there thinking, why did we come back?
We're floating through space. It was that good, eh?
Did you bring a bottle of wine, Bill, by the way? Bill usually furnishes us with wine during rehearsals.
Does Bill's microphone work yet?
Not really.
By the way, Bill was also, interestingly, at the end, helped out at the Red Dwarf 10. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah. The comment that was made at the time by a few people is actually saved the show. It got them out of the shed.
Yeah.
And then, oh, wait a minute.
Hold on. Hold on, is he just giving him a mic or a vibrator?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, it's definitely a vibrator. Usually, sound comes out of a microphone, doesn't it, Bobby?
I don't know mine working, I can't even tell. I'm so deaf.
I'm sure this one's working.
That's working.
So I'll just hang on to it.
Okay, Chris, should we just do the number and just get on with it?
Eh?
One enchanted evening.
No, that's not the number that some people might want me to do.
No, it's no, that's it. No, yeah, Chris can go first.
Tongue-tied, I had sort of stood there, went like this. 1, 2. Oh, shit, we fucked up. Never mind. The camera won't be on.
And of course, when Chris's number was going, me and Robert were sort of sitting in a similar situation, wasn't we?
Oh, what?
On Black Friday. Arnold. We had to listen to that for 18 hours. 8.
It wasn't because of you.
Yeah.
Why was it called Black Friday?
Everything went wrong.
Everything went wrong. We sat in a fairground ride truck, listening to that song for 18 hours. Didn't you hear about that?
I can imagine Craig going, for God's sake, that's all we were getting.
There were a few loose nuts that day, I can tell you. And then it was like, and action, and you know what? It's not even the song, it's the boop, boop, boop. Arnold. We were senile.
Just for you, Danny. If you're in trouble, he will save the day. He's brave and he's fearless, come what may. Without him, the mission would go astray. He's Arnold. Without him, life would be much grimmer. He's handsome, trim, and no one slimmer. He will never need a Zimmer. Sorry about that, we got the words out.
You see, they're cheering because they only had to listen for 30 seconds. After 18 hours, you would have been slaughtered the next time they saw you down the high street.
I know. I'm sorry, I don't know where I was, by a beach somewhere, sitting on the glass of salsa. Anyway.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you. There are other people in the room.
You got a mic now. Oh, that was all just waiting for Bill's mic.
It looks like one of your props, Bill.
It's actually better made than some of the
You should go to his workshop. It's like being in Thunderbird land. It's all this stuff everywhere, and you think, wow, I remember that when I was a kid. About 5 years ago.
Yes, hello guys.
He's here as well.
I was just going to start the panel off asking how it all came about, how Red Dwarf started for you, and where it began, basically, back at the beginning.
Wow. Yeah, I'd done a few bits and bobs for Paul Jackson in sort of Three of a Kind show, and with Tracy Ullman and Lenny Henry, and I did a few bits for Lenny Henry. I actually, when I was a dancer, did a few variety shows where Lenny was doing his act, and got involved with Paul Jackson. And in fact, Paul Jackson was the first person to give me my first bit of dialogue on television. And Ed Bye was then the floor manager for Paul Jackson's various productions. And when the character of Cat came up, Paul and Ed remembered me and invited me to audition for the part, to which I was the first person to audition. Turned up half hour late. And for some reason they gave me the part. That is it, it's the honest truth.
I think you're next, sir.
Is this working? Can you hear me?
No,
It's not working. is it?
no.
Swamp.
1, 2. Oh, hello. Suddenly we become more physically intimate.
Red Dwarf, can't remember that far back. Oh yes, no, I did a play at the Edinburgh Festival about a robot that was nothing like Kryten, except for when he thought in a Kryten voice. That was the only way, there was only similarity. A sort of vague Kryten voice. And again, Paul Jackson, who Danny just referred to, saw that play and said, "Do you want to be in Red Dwarf?" And I said no, because I was thinking that I was going to do something else, and then something else never happened, and so I did Red Dwarf, and I'm so glad, I'm so stupid that I said no the first time he asked me, and I'm so glad he persisted. So that's how I ended up in it, as the new boy in Series 3, and Craig still refers to me as, "What do you know? You're the new boy." 25 years later.
I knew Rob and Doug from Spitting Image back in the early 80s, and I'd done a radio show with them, Son of Cliche, and they just gave me the opportunity to audition, really. I went along, did a crap audition, left, and got a letter saying, "You're not in it." We cast Alfred Molina, and I think Craig was hovering around the same time. He got, he was informed, or we were all informed. There was Alfred Molina and who's that?
Well,
I mean, this genuine. Who's the other actor that they?
Well, Nigel Planer certainly did. Dave Baddiel. I didn't know Dave Baddiel auditioned for
Well,
it.
some big lovely heavyweight movie. Is that,
Not Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, that's
Alan
right, Rickman and Molina, that's right. Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, we got a letter saying, "Actually, we changed our minds. We've cast you and Craig in it." So I thought, sensible choice. You know, you don't want to work with them lovies. You know, and apparently they glazed over when the lovies started to get a bit sort of in depth about motivation and all that.
Character history
and all that, darling. That's how it came about for me.
I've just quickly remember, I've just seen a video recently, it's on YouTube, of Rob and Doug being interviewed about writing on Spitting Image. And there's puppets, they get interviewed by Ronald Reagan, and the camera goes around, and there's you, with, I have to say it, Chris, quite a lot of curly hair. Doing Ronald Reagan.
What are you saying?
Well, it was
Are you making a comment about?
It was some time ago, and at that time I had a very thick mop of hair as well, so I'm not saying that.
It was before I had the number ones.
Yes, it was a choice. And but it's so lovely. You've got to watch it, because you see Ronald Reagan going, doing all your Ronald Reagan stuff.
Like Kryten.
Yeah, yes. But it's so sweet when you suddenly come into vision.
Ronald Reagan used to talk like this, or I would always have it. There's one in the eye for those who call me an asshole.
So if he was talking to Kryten, it would be sort of, "Hi, Kryten, how are you getting on?" "Oh, well, sir, I'm absolutely fine, sir." "Is this me again?"
I think we should do it. Reagan and Kryten would be good. Anyway,
And Bill, how did you get into it?
Yeah. Oh, this mic does work great. Red Dwarf relocated to Shepperton Studios. I think it was for Series 4.
Series 3 actually, in 1989.
Oh, really?
Oh no, you're right, Series 4.
Series 4.
You are right, Series 4.
And then my old Bibby contacted us. We were resident at the studio, And he said, could we get involved in the props? And we said, oh God, definitely, because all my team loved science fiction. And then we found out how much money was available, and we had to have a bit of a rethink. But we worked on 5 series in total, and doing props. And then on series 8, we took over the miniature construction and shooting. And then 10, as I say, that was a nice one to do at the end. And post, we got an RTS award for it, for the special visual effects. So that was very pleasing to everyone involved, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, it's all right. No, it was amazing. No, it was very good. We actually got an award. Red Dwarf never gets awards, but that was great that we got that one.
We don't get invited.
We don't get invited to awards. Sometimes people forget to put us on the list. Not that we're going to say anything about that.
To be fair to Bill, I remember because they were doing the model shots simultaneously to doing some of the end of episode
Quite stressful.
6.
I remember.
And the model shots were on one other side of the curtain, and every now and then, if you're not in the scene, I would pop by and have a look. And I just remember seeing the Death Ship for the first time I went round there, thinking, that looks straight out of Toys R Us.
Not even that good. It looked like
It was the Entertainer, I believe. We had toys from the Entertainer. Yeah.
It just did not look as if it was going to film very well. I think they must be doing an amazing job in lighting to make that look good, but
CGI.
yeah.
But if you're doing CGI, why you got models? You know.
Exactly. But in the end, obviously, no one went by and he thought, well, needs this sorting out, and
I think
he was the main man.
He would have given it the classic, no.
Got into
Great, so we're going to throw it out to the audience. So if you have any questions, please put your hands up. And Mike will come to you pretty quickly. And whilst we're waiting for the mic to get to you, I'll just ask, how was it coming back to season 10?
It was, well, I mean, it was less bizarre than doing Back to Earth. Because I always remember that first morning when we were all on the set at Back to Earth. It was that was the weirdest moment, really, because we hadn't done anything in Red Dwarf like for, I think then, 13 years, 12 or 13 years. And we were all on the set in costume, and it was honestly like we'd had a weekend off, wasn't it? It was like instantly, I went, oh God, it's this. I can't remember, you know, because all the weeks before I began, I don't know how to do this, I don't do this
And
anymore.
the thing was, we were on Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Which was pretty bizarre.
And the first thing that happened was we were all ready to do this scene with Carbug. So there were all these old lovies sort of falling off their heels on the cobbles on Corrie, sort of trying to walk. Got to the Carbug and someone had locked the keys in the car. So it was only on Red Dwarf would someone call the AA. And it's the honest truth. Helen Norman is on the phone to the AA. Yes, we've got some keys locked in a little green smart car with wings. Where are you? Yes, we're on the set of Coronation Street. Yes, there's a guy in a purple suit, a guy with H on his head, and a guy with a square head, and some tramp that with a jacket. And you know, and I swear to you, that conversation was going on with the AA, and then in the end, someone just came along with a hammer and broke the window and got in.
It is why you only see Carbug from one side. Because the other side had a smashed in window. Yeah.
That was our first day, well, our first shot of Back to Earth. Only on Red Dwarf.
It was good. It was good. Good day. We worked with Michelle Keegan, didn't we?
Michelle Keegan.
Quality. That was my favourite line, my favourite Rimmer line in the whole series. It's that one word, quality.
Well, take me to the foot of our stairs.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yes, so we haven't got a mic, so if you want to jet your voice out, we'll go for this one here. Oh, we haven't got a mic, excuse me.
Just like Grey Launcher.
Which is your favourite transport vehicle, Starbug or Blue Midget?
Ooh. I think the bug of Star for me.
original and best, but the blue midget is a good dancer.
Yeah.
Blue Midget's got a certain amount of aerodynamic sort of quality to it, but Starbug more versatile. You could do the whole, what we did, the whole show for many seasons.
I think Starbug's a bit nippier as well, isn't it?
Nippier, you know, manoeuvring, more manoeuvrable.
Is Blue Midget not more manoeuvrable?
Do you think so?
Depends which one you're talking about, whether it was the original Blue Midget, which was a cracked vessel,
That's true.
or else the revamped one that could do the dance number.
Could Blue Midget go into the molten lava and have the energy to and the power to get back out?
Oh, yes.
Good point.
Depends.
Would
Deciding
we
factor.
have made it out for the next series if we were in Blue Midget at that time?
Depends who's at the controls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how thick the plastic was.
That's if the control panel survived Craig's.
Oh no,
Was it Leicester proof?
we're not going to get into that. Craig destroying probes.
It was a definition. I'm sure some of you have heard this before, but it was without question, not even a joke on the set. It was just a definition of a working prop, because they just say if Craig had touched it, that was it. Forget it.
Yeah.
So you know, if Craig's touched it, you then put it in the box to go and be fixed.
What was it? Wasn't it Blue Midget when we first went and wow, the new pod, the new ship, and we all was walking around the set with me and it's wow, it's Blue Midget, and Craig went, oops. He broke the steering wheel before we had shot a shot, and he was, yeah, ooh. That lasted long, guy.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers that question. It may not.
Hold on. What's your favourite one? See, it's easy asking us. When we put it to you, look, what?
Starbuck!
Hands up, Starbuck. Hands down. Blue Midget.
Starbug was more heavily featured through the series. So
Right. So yeah, well, more exposure.
Yeah.
But are we talking from the technical point of view with this audience, or what?
Very technical.
We're at the Space Centre. We're in a room full of geeks. Are we talking popularity or technical ability here? Bill.
Sorry, this is I don't know. It just went on a bit too long there.
Let's get the next question, because if
no, let's talk about Starbug. He jested. Next question.
Sir, that is in a digital language you may not be familiar with. I just about got it, just about out of
Something about costumes.
Long list of props and costumes. Do we have ones that are the least favourite to work with? Yeah. No, because normally I can't hear when people are standing right in front of me. I can't hear them.
can't hear us when we're talking.
I had tuned in into a special digital channel.
I beg your pardon, what did you say?
The only one I can remember that was particularly difficult was in Demons and Angels. Well, it was quite difficult looking at Chris when he was enjoying his belt so much. That was really challenging.
It was very difficult wearing it.
But the bad Kryten was wearing a Norwegian thermal motorbike suit, which had been modified. So if you imagine riding a motorbike in Norway in midwinter, you'd want something that really protected you from the heat. But we were in a very, very hot TV studio in the summer. So that was the time I think I actually reached thermonuclear temperatures inside that suit. Well, we were doing one tiny little retake again and again and again, and that was a least favourite suit in a very popular and very funny episode that I loved, but the actual experience was tough.
Demons and Angels, the suspender suit was, it was made quite hastily, so I think there were pins left in it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that sort of agonising expression on my face was for real.
Yeah, you were kind of sewn into that, wasn't you?
Yeah. Poured into it, perhaps, or sewn into it. Yeah. So that sometimes, you know, when the outfits are made quite quickly, Howard Burton, the costume designer's got a fairly short time to make them. Yeah, occasionally they're pretty, I don't know what's the word, crude in terms of on the inside, but on the outside they look pucker. So yeah, that sometimes leads to an uncomfortable ride for the actor. But that's life.
The teeth for that Demons and Angel guy with the long hair, oh God, they were awful. Yeah, that was like wearing Bobby. They were just a mouthful of like enamel. It didn't work very well. I mean, and yet again,
They look great.
made very quickly. You know, it was like one of those ones like, we need one tomorrow. Yeah. But you have to go all the way to Harley Street. You know, it's like what? Yeah. So that was the one.
There was actually also the most painful moment for me was when we were the high. I think it was when I was you and I as a high cat and high Kryten in the lovely gold robes, which were really comfy. They were lovely, and lovely Peter Ragg, who sadly departed this mortal coil. He fitted explosives on them for when we were shot, and we'd had that all done before, and it was fine. And that was, and it, you know, you could do a great impression of Peter, but he did the reassurance, so just a little flash, little flashbang, and that'll be it.
What do they call them? Squibs.
Squibs. And one, so normally you're in a costume that's sort of solid, and you've got them built in, but this was fluffily cloth. So it had gone fluffily between my legs, I didn't know. One of the little squibs that aren't dangerous at all went bang on one leg and went into the other leg and like did an actual hole with burning. That was quite painful. It was very easy to do a shocked death moment. Yeah, I did jump, and that did hurt.
Yeah, little sparks flying.
Do a quick Peter Ragg.
Because Peter used to go, Chris, don't worry, you know, they're only small little ones, you know, they're like cats when I was old kids' guns. Yeah, you won't feel anything for those. Yeah, you know, well, Craig's got some bigger ones. But yeah, no, you won't feel anything. You won't feel anything. Usually it means you're going to multiply that to about 30 times.
You're in mortal danger.
Well, when Peter Ragg says to you, you might just get something from that, then, you know, clear the studio.
Me and Bobby got shot once with that huge cannon, didn't we? Yeah. We had these long sort of, it's all gas, high pressure gas with a long tube, and they stuff it with cork and crap and paper, and it was the old one. Look, we were in fact, it was a Starbucks thing. So the four of us are there, and it's right. Number one's going to go there, so we go there.
Yeah.
Number two's going to go there, so we go there. 3 there, 4 there. Pete, unfortunately, had his wires crossed. So, of course, we didn't get past 1. It was 1, boom! Robert's mask was peppered with bits of, stuck into his head with bits of cork and stuff, and one just hit me under the studio went silent, didn't it? It was definitely silent. There was 400 people watching, and you could hear a pin drop. We thought we had our faces blown off, didn't we? And he was like, "Just could do that."
No, your dog was going, yeah, that looked great, lads.
Pete was like sweating.
There's a blue wire.
Blue, red.
I might have disconnected that.
Sorry, lads, sorry.
Most hassle, yeah. We had a few problems with the scutters.
Understatement, Bill.
Yeah, maybe I should rephrase that, problem with the scutters. Yeah, we came on for Series 8, and the scutters had been made previously by the BBC. The BBC were asked to put a price in to remake them for the new series, and so were we. And the BBC had made theirs from scratch. They were beautifully built many years beforehand. And I thought, no, we've got new technology. We can actually go out, get a tabby, a radio-controlled kit, and build it from that. The BBC came in with their price, we came in with ours. Ours to do the two were 3,500, and the BBC had suddenly become public. Their services could be bought by anyone, and they wanted £34,000 for them. I'm not sure if ours ever worked any better or any worse than theirs, but ours were much cheaper. So that was, like everything else on Dwarf, that was the deciding factor. You know, so good fun to play around with though.
Next question.
The one the speeches in backwards, series 3, were they actually scripted or were they added? I'm especially thinking of the scene where the nightclub MC insults the audience for getting them on the tape and reversing it.
I know that, yeah, that was it there. In case you can't hear, I don't know if you can hear the question, but about whether when we did backwards, whether there was any improvised speeches in that. And certainly Arthur Smith, who played the pub owner when we were all in the dressing room at the back, and he came in and did the speech that's backwards. And if you did bother to turn it round, you'd hear that he said, "There'll be someone somewhere that will work out how to turn this round forwards. What a sad bastard," or something. And that was definitely not scripted. That was him just coming in and riffing on it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Isn't the actual forward, the normal version on one of the DVDs?
I think it is.
And he says there's probably some bastard at home now rewinding this as I'm talking. And
Robert's just said that, Danny.
I was tweeting.
Was that great?
I was tweeting Arthur Smith. Yeah, Craig. Yeah.
So, were there any other speeches in the episode that you were concerned about?
Was that one particularly that I was thinking about?
That was ad-lib.
That was incredibly funny.
We had to sit there without trying not to laugh.
Trying not to laugh. It's,
Suffering in that scene. You remember that? I was just looking, thinking, shut up. You know,
Actually, the other one that I remember having the most difficulty in a very short scene with, it actually wasn't even a word, was Ricky Grover in series 7. Yeah, in the tank, when we were in the tank, when we were all the canaries. And Ricky Grover is just an amazing bloke, he's so funny, but he didn't have a line, he just had they were talking about what we do if we found a sort of genetically engineered life form, flesh-eating monster. And the other guy that was the sort of the one who always wanted to go for the big punch-up, I can't remember his name, lovely actor.
EastEnders.
I think he is in EastEnders. But as he was describing, Jake Wood, as Jake Wood was describing catching this monster and beating it up, Ricky Grover was looking at a non-existent, fictitious monster with more aggression than you. Like that. Do you remember we got in trouble because we just kept cracking up? Because Ricky Grover's face is just brilliant.
Yeah, you feel the energy coming just sitting next to him.
Yeah.
That great bit when I was pushing in and sitting.
Yes, yeah, he's so. I once pulled a muscle in my back completely as a stupid, tragic middle-aged man. Nothing. It was lifting a bag of socks. That's how dangerous it was. And mind you, I had very heavy socks. And I got a text. Someone heard that I'd hurt my back, and I got a text message from Ricky Grover that just said, "Ooh, Tanya." He always said, "Anybody ever gives you any trouble, just just come to me. Tell me who it is, and I'll sort him." I won't hit him, because I was going, I'm a pacifist, I don't like mine. Don't worry, I won't hit him. I just fucking look at him. Who done ya? And it was, who done ya? That was my text.
Okay, next question.
Shout it out, man.
Have you ever accidentally taken home any of the props or memorabilia from the show because you liked them so much you might want to hang on to them?
No, we just nick them from Bill's workshop when he's in.
That explains a lot.
Actually, this is a true story. Well, nothing to do with Dwarf, but I did pop into Bill's workshop once to borrow some guns for when I was doing my short film, and he sort of reached up and he went, "Right, here's a couple. Boom." they're Mel Gibson's from Lethal Weapon. Boom, they're from James Bond. So I'm driving home, baseball cap, car, 4 guns in the back. And it wasn't until I got halfway down the A316 and I thought, this is not going to look good. I mean, you know, if you looked at these guns, I mean, I was weeing myself just looking at them. They were so real when they built. I mean, they were 9mm Berettas, 2 in the box, and then 2, the old James Bondy ones.
Walther PPKs.
Walther PPKs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine some, you know, rookie copper?
Yeah.
Got an issue here, sir.
Do the rest of you guys get to take anything home?
Oh yeah, the only thing I've got, I think, I've got a very old mask that is really a piece of sort of rotting. It's disgraceful. Yeah, an unused Kryten mask from I think about Series 4 in a box, but I don't even like opening the box because it's just.
Actually.
Well, I've got the bullets. I've got my bullet. The bullet.
Yes, I've got the.
We've all got the bullet, haven't we? The red one from Back to Earth. When we all the names were on each of the bullets from the Creator.
Nice little bullets, those
They
actually.
were lovely bullets. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know what to do with it, but.
No,
Just a bullet that says cat, you think you wouldn't,
yeah.
I do have a black Kryten mask as well. Do you remember that? Yeah, we surprised Doug, me and Craig put on masks and had them sprayed our skin colour. Yeah.
Just doing a quick impression of
the black
Kryten.
Oh, these mechanites coming over here, taking our women. I can't tell you how weird that was to see that.
Doug was literally crying. Craig burst in as Kryten.
It's just
You
pretty.
never know, Series 11?
Well, there was always talk about
A Kryten where Robert was the only human and we all turned into mechanoids. Yeah, that would have been funny.
It would have been back now, I'm not so sure.
Imagine.
I don't want to be the human. I want to watch you being all the Krytens, that would be fun, but I don't want to be. I get nervous without the mask.
Yeah, you could just be bearded up and sort of, you know, one of those guys, you know, sort of loads of machines around here. I feel nice. Yeah, a couple of black Krytens. What am I going to do if I probably go and rob a couple of banks? I've had a couple up here for 20 years, nobody wants them. Old stock, can't shift it. Well, Ricky Grover could play that part. The used Kryten salesman. There he is, yeah.
I won't be sending that to Doug as a
idea.
suggestion for the episode. Work on it.
I've always wanted a baby Kryten, like a little glove puppet baby, so I can cut, you know, do it like that, with that, and it makes that sort of noise, but sort of a Kryten one.
I need some WD-40.
It'd be so cute, a little baby Kryten, imagine that. Yeah, just feeding him a little bottle of WD-40 out of a can, it'd be so cute.
Bill's going.
Okay, next question.
Are there any plans for the series?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'm a Shepperton, so I hear things before these guys hear them.
So what's the latest, Bill?
Actually, someone was talking to someone last week and said it was going to happen before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I've
We've finally heard
As
too.
for whether this had anything to do with Red Dwarf, I don't know.
Yeah, it's happening before Christmas.
Yeah, it's happening before Christmas.
No, we are making a new series this year, Series 11. We start, I think it's sort of towards the end of October we will start. With all 4 of us, of them, the core cast. We don't know anything else. We really don't know anything else. I think, in fact, there's not even anything else because I think Doug is probably writing the scripts at the moment.
Yeah, paperwork isn't completely finalised, but it looks like those are the 2 months, November, December, when it will happen.
and there will be audience tickets. And if it's anything like last time, they go in about 20 minutes. The whole lot.
Well, as I said to someone in the queue earlier on, you know, if you do want to, is it 14 the age, the minimum age?
I think it is. I think it's 14. Yeah.
But yeah, if you do want your tickets, you've got to sort of, you know, watch the website like a hawk, really, because the tickets will go
crashed
in 20
last
minutes.
time.
Yeah.
The website crashed.
Reddwarf.co.uk.
Crash.
/crash.
So we have time for one more question. Just there. Going to hand up first.
Yeah, it's a question for Danny. You played the cat, obviously, and Dwayne Dibley, but which of the outfits, the many outfits that the cat wore, did you like in particular? Or was there any of them that you could have picked out that you would have kept?
Yeah, it's quite a difficult question to answer that, because I mean, Howard Burton just forever pushes the boundaries of, you know, what people should be wearing, even in science fiction comedy shows. I famously never refused to wear a costume yet, but the closest to my heart, really, I have to go back to the original pink catsuit, because if it wasn't for that particular get-up, then I don't think people would have had the balls to go as far as we've gone now. And if you actually saw any archive of the original drawings of what the cat was going to look like, then it would have been a whole different show. But yeah, the pink suit was what started it all, and it's kind of nearly nostalgic to feel about that costume.
What was the one you wore when we went in the diving bell?
Oh, the turquoise bum hugger. Well, it was the first time Helen Norman actually sort of said something a bit risky, like, yeah, there was all, it's in the making of, and her and the lovely Joe looking at my bottom.
Comments were passed.
I was shocked when I saw that. Helen Norman talking like that was just, Helen was so prim and proper.
Well, she was about to leave, wasn't she?
Yes, so she was pushing the boat out there.
Just to finish on, the world of Red Dwarf has spread all over the world. For you guys, what's the best thing that's come out of it for you?
Well, the extension I'm about to do over my garage. If I could be blunt. No, really. As I said, I've always said this. I mean, if you in TV get one series as an actor, you know, you've got to remember there's of the whole community of actors, there's only ever 5% in work at a time. To get a TV series out of that 5% is just incredible. To get 2 or 3, but to get one that has travelled the world and, you know, and is ongoing after 26 years. You know, there's very few people that experience what we get to experience being in Red Dwarf or being associated with Red Dwarf. You know, to go to somewhere like, you know, Jordan, and someone come up to you and go, yeah, Red Dwarf. You know that show. It's like, so yeah. I mean, that kind of response, you never get tired of it. We said it today. You know, we've been to the Space Centre how many times? 5, 6, 7 times? I don't know. And still, you think, is there that many people in Leicester?
I mean,
Yeah.
Increasingly for me, it's the longevity of the show. You know, it just, you know, you look at series 10, and we probably did things there that are the best things we've ever done.
Yeah.
And to think that we started the series 24 years previously, and now we're doing series 11 again, and we're going to go on and progress further. You know, at this stage, there doesn't really seem any end to the creative juices that will still flow. So that's the most exciting thing about it to me now.
I'd like to heartily concur with both my colleagues.
Bill, what about you, Tim? Red Dwarf, to me, it's given me great opportunities because I've been offered so many cheap jobs. So I'm indebted, but seriously folks, it's being invited at events like this.
What about that? Well done, Bill.
Right, guys, if you could please exit the